والسلام ورحمة الله. Take care, Dion. والسلام ورحمة الله. بارك الله فيكم. Take care, أخي. السلام ورحمة الله علي. حياك الله حبيبي. بارك الله فيكم. It's different. I don't know if you know. Take care, Sheikh Abu Habib, please. والسلام. Good to see you, أخي. بارك الله فيكم.
بسم الله.
جزاك الله خيرا. هذه أي نعم خلاص وزيادة يعني ما أصلا أنت ممنوع من السؤال أصلا صحيح؟ أصلا جاني واحد أنت خطير قال إيش المشكلة في مسجد التوحيد؟ قال المسجد التوحيد مسجد مبتدئة والله العظيم سألني أحد اليوم الله المستعان. أنا قلت يا أخي ليس هكذا. بسم الله. Are there any questions? السلام عليكم. Abu Sharif, we make sense tonight? Inshallah. تفضل. Thanksgiving? Okay. Understood. Well, with regards to Thanksgiving, then I would advise you to go back to the brief yet critical discussion. It was brief, but it was critical. If you look, there were some critical points, critical scholastic points that we discussed concerning Halloween. And take that and apply it to Thanksgiving. Does it have a scriptural basis? Who are the people who celebrate it? What are some of the cons, some of the ills? Some of them are facet, consumerism, overeating, so on and so on and so forth. Ala kullin, I personally don't think that Thanksgiving is as evil and bad and demonic as Halloween. I don't believe it's permissible for Muslims to celebrate. There are problems within it for sure, but it's not the same as making light of witches and jinns and ghouls and goblins and demons and so on and so forth. That's totally different. There's no doubt about that. Also, me holding the view that Thanksgiving is unlawful, it doesn't sound, it's not, I mean, there are many people who are more knowledgeable than me who may say you're Jews, as long as you avoid this and that, you know. So it's not like it's something which is a consensus in which everybody is saying it's haram. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't advise you to do it. Number three, if you're going to do it, then know the ledge. As we say, know the ledge. Have knowledge. Know the bull versus the horns of the bull. And obviously, if you've ever been to Spain or seen a YouTube video of the Al Matador, right? It's not always easy to avoid the horns of the raging bull. You make fun of the bull, you make the bull angry, and you move out the way, but every now and then the bull what? Is going to get you, and all it takes is one touch with those horns, and you're God. Allah, what we can say about that culture. Al-Muhim is that if you're going to do it, know what you're doing. I'm here for a reason, for a purpose. helping out my mom, see my family. Of course, some sweet potato pie. Let's keep it real. I take some extra gravy. You know, I want, the wing, the leg. Which going to take? The breast? Which one, Shake? Stuffing. Baked macaroni and cheese. Yeah, come on, man. All right? At the end of the day, know your purpose. And make the best out of whatever you feel that you have to do or you want to do. And it's just that simple. I mean, how many people are giving their family members da'wah to Islam? How many of us, for real, for real? For argument's sake, you go to Thanksgiving and you give them da'wah. You're not giving them da'wah. You want her to eat, to drink, to have fun, to get full, to burp, use the bathroom, eat again, watch the football game. The football games, how many games? No, it's like 3 of them now. Back in the day, it was 2. Back in the day, it was just 1. Remember the Madden game when they had the 6 legs sewn onto the turkey? You too young for that. You remember that one, man? Google it, look it up. Fact check me if I'm making it up. Don't ever take anything from me. Fact check it. So, if you're going to do it, make some type of benefit out of it. If you ask me, I'll say don't do it. I'll help your mom any day of the year except for what? Thanksgiving. I'll visit you, sit with you, eat with you, family ties. We don't got to be Muslim, non-Muslim, not on this day. Or, last thing I'm going to say, if you're going to do it, then make them do something for you. If I come and sit with you guys got to come for Jumu'ah. It's that simple. You guys got to come to our Eid celebration. Just come. See the Muslims, hear some Quran, get some dawah. Oh no, I'm busy that day. I got to work. My cat is in the vet and the goldfish has to get his fins clean. They're making a million excuses not to come to an Islamic celebration. Is this not the case? Some non-Muslims come, not all, but most, they're going to make a million excuses not to come. Come to the masjid, come to the Eid. Oh, son, I'm sorry, I got to work. But you're expected to go to their mushrik, pagan, devil-worshipping holiday. That is a fact. So how is that fair? Can you cook for me, Mom? I'll buy all the ingredients. I'll get the halal turkey. I'm having to eat dinner. Oh, son, I can't. I had to work a double shift. So something isn't what? Something ain't adding up. Wallahu a'lam. Wa iyyakum. Wa salamtullah. Faddal. Barakallahu feek, Shaykh. Jazakallahu khairan. Faddal. Of course. Bismillah. Of course, Habibi. Jazakallahu khairan. Iyyakum. John, faddal. If you be like your friend, then you're going to be barred from questions too.
How do I wake up my children to pray Fajr? They stay up very late on the electronics. What do we do as parents? Are we going to be held responsible?
Sheikh, you got to get on live with that hoodie. The people need to see that. The Shafi'i pin. Can they see it, Nafis? They got to see the Shafi'i pin. They say nothing scripted. I didn't tell the brother to wear this hoodie. He wore it out of his own free will. Shout out to the Shafi'i disciples, the real Shafi'i disciples. لولا أصحاب المحابر, come on, لخطبت الزنادقة على المنابر. Shafi'i, he's saying if it wasn't for the disciples of the ink pots, then the heretics would be on the minbars. The zindiqs, the munafiqs, would have taken over Islam if it wasn't for Ahlul Hadith. If it wasn't for who? The people of the ink pots. So let that be known with regards to Shafi'i's contribution to the deen, to Islam. And Shafi'i, we, Ahlul Hadith, inshallah, we have a greater claim to him than those other madhabi guys. And Allah surely knows best. Wa yakum. Tayyib. The answer to the question with regards to your children oversleeping for Fajr, being on their devices, they can't wake up, they don't wake up, are you responsible, etc.? Yes, you are, for sure. If they live in your household, you're responsible. You're not responsible for everything. You can't be responsible for their personal conviction and everything they do individually, but holistically, you are responsible if you're the head of the house. Aren't you responsible for the gas and the electric? Aren't you responsible for the water being on? So you're also responsible for the outward adherence to the deen. What you're doing in yourself, I can't control. I can't micromanage, but outwardly, this you can't do that. You can't bring that haram stuff into the house. You can't listen to that. You can't watch that. And a parent has to have the courage to speak the truth and to stand up for the truth. But the problem comes if you yourself are struggling, and if you and yourself are messed up, if you and yourself are into all types of haram stuff, you're not going to say what? Anything, unfortunately. So this is all from the ill omens of sins and disobedience. Min shutmin ma'asi. From the adverse effects of disobedience is that it turns you into a coward. And it takes away the respect, the haiba that your children are supposed to have for you. But that's a different Ibn al-Qayyim type of discussion. We're not having that discussion right now. So therefore, teach your children and remind your children, advise your children about the obligation of praying on time. Fajr cannot be missed. If you're sick or tired, that's one thing. You're up all night on your device, that's a what? Different story. Now, do you take your phones or the iPads or whatever from your children? That may vary from person to person, parent to parent. Some parents say at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'm taking your device, or I'm locking your device, or I'm turning off the Wi-Fi. It's up to you. But no matter what you do, take the devices, turn off the Wi-Fi, put on a block, parental block, whatever, you still must teach them because they'll find a way to sneak and to get around. They'll find a way to bypass whatever measures you put up. And the thing that is the greatest, first and last line of defense, is them realizing Allah watches me and sees me. But yes, you are to take some type of measure. You are to tie your camel. Wallahu ta'ala, I mean, you got to lead by example. Get them up for Fajr, whether you're praying in the masjid, you're far from the masjid, whatever, have some donuts and coffee. Buy them something, treat them something. Get them to attach the dopamine to the salah. If you get up for Fajr, I'll buy you this. You get it for Fajr, we go and we have breakfast. You get it for Fajr, I'll make you your favorite breakfast. You get it for Fajr, I'll make you the favorite lunch for school. Give them something to look forward to, a worldly incentive. And last but not least, one could say playing with devices or being on devices and surfing the internet, etc., should be a privilege. You got to earn your iPad time. You got to earn your internet time. And obviously, you have to mix and balance things out. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Don't be extreme. Don't be what? Don't be extreme and don't be hypocritical. Wallahu alam. Ibn Habib. However, clear, it has evolved. Maybe, mumkin. But then that can be said about anything else though. Wearing a crucifix. Where I come from, Cuban link, flooded Jesus. Right or wrong, Abdul Wadud? Is that specific to Christians? No, it's just fashion. It evolved. Can I wear that? Can I rock that? Jesus piece? Why not? Why can't I? It evolved. It's secular. And there are many other things which have evolved. It doesn't mean it becomes permissible just because the thing evolves. So therefore, that argument can be countered. And for argument's sake, if it's not counted, all right, no problem. Just be mindful. Be what? Be mindful, right? Why is it only on this day if there's nothing special about it? Why can't it be any other day out the week? And some people, they argue, they say, if turkey is so good, why people only eat it one day out the year? Says who? Turkey sandwich is different. Lunch meat, whatever. But if turkey is such a, why is it such a special thing? It's chicken all the times, right? What makes this day special if it's totally secular? And what's the ruling of making a secular holiday as well? That's an argument. Is that your Jews? Can we take out one day Has nothing to do with religion. Is that your haqq to venerate and to commemorate a day? So that argument, for real, I don't think it can get into a fight with scholastic criticism and walk away unscathed. It may walk away in one piece, but it's going to definitely be what? Touched a few times of critical questions. And Allah surely knows best. وإياكم. And most importantly, extra gravy. Don't forget, all right? What? Smothered, extra gravy, and stuffing. Fadl. And I like my sweet potato pie warmed up. I like it hot. I want it cold. Fadl. No other questions? Any other questions?
Initials AM from Springfield, Virginia. Jazakallah khair for your efforts. Which of these two theories resonate more with you? Ya'juj, Ma'juj being beyond Antarctica. Or
Being
them
beyond what?
Antarctica.
Antarctica, okay?
Or them being related to AI with rediscovered technology.
At the end of the day, Allah Azza wa Jalla has told us about Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So they are real. And they aren't figurative, mythical, they're real. Just because me, you, him, her hasn't discovered them, doesn't mean that Allah is now wrong and telling us a lie. If we take that rationale, we will reject the entire Quran. Also, who said, oh yeah, mashallah, your aql, yani, tabarakallah. Who said they didn't discover Ya'juj or Ma'juj? Who said that? Have they told you everything? Who is in charge of Google Maps? I mean, I'm trying to calm down. I don't want to get, too hype and say any offensive words. But why are you so dang going stupid? Who's in charge of Google Maps? Muslims? Just because it doesn't pop up and appear doesn't mean what? Are you that dumb and deceived? Are you lacking intellect that much? Billah alayk yani. I ask you by Allah. Who said they didn't discover them? Who said that? Who said every part of the earth has been discovered? Who? Based off of who? The map? They're the same people who say this, and this is round, and this is, they're the same people. So why do you have so much faith in what they say and lack so much faith in what? What Allah says. That's a huge problem. Huge problem. So if Ya'juj and Ma'juj are fake or figurative, all right, no problem. So shaitan. Shaitan's figurative. Shaitan is negativity within a human being. It's greed, lust, anger, racism, prejudice. That's the true devil within us all. Shaitan doesn't have horns. Or how can the shaitan burn in the fire if he's made from what? Scientific or not? Yani, al-aql fasid aslan. So we have to be very careful. And of course, it's a statement, and Allah knows best. It's attributed to Shafi'i. Allah alam if Shafi'i said it or not. One day a man said, oh, Muhammad ibn Idris, how can Allah punish Iblis and he's from fire? So he told the man to come here. He picked up a piece of stone, or baked clay, and he, what you hit me for? He said, did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt. Look at my face. Aren't you made from clay? Next question.
HJ from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, ENY. Okay. New York, East New York. Yeah, Sheikh, what is the response to those people who say wars only brought economic issues and problems in society and never anything good?
Wars only bring economic problems to society, etc. Only. Well, part of that is true. Wars do bring major issues and economic suffering to societies, to the losing side, to the vanquished. Right? What did he say? He said, I ask you, I beg you for us to have a ceasefire. The peace, he says, if you want the ceasefire, then just what? Sign it. Non-negotiable terms. So he took the terms, he read them. He said, these are clearly what? Oppressive, they're punitive, they're harsh. We won't be able to pay this. He said, that's the problem of the vanquished. That's the disease of who? Of the conquered, not us, the conquerors. We don't have to worry about that. What chaos is going to cause in your country, that's your problem. So yes, it's going to bring economic suffering to who? To you, but not to what? Not to us. So is war okay? Is it bad? Is it holy? Is it sacred? Etc., etc. Is it a necessity? What's important is make sure you don't lose. Unless you're going to be on the receiving end of a harsh, unmerciful, unforgiving, oppressive human being who's going to destroy your economy for generations to come. And the victors of that war, they're going to be paid in full for generations to come. You pick. You want to be the predator or the prey. It's literally that simple. The law of the jungle is harsh and oppressive. Yes, to the what? To the prey. Or, for argument's sake, the prey who has the ability to defend itself. One kick of that wildebeest will snap the lion's neck. One poke of those horns, fight is over. One kick or stop, that wolf will go flying. So you're on the offense or you're on the defense. Whatever side of the ball you're on, you need to be what? Strong and solid. And you can't leave it to the mercy of the predator. Inshallah, he won't bite too hard. Inshallah, he won't rip and tear too much. This is the state of the ummah today. And there lies no doubt how we look at war and warfare and al-jihad fi sabilillah, how we understand the verses and the hadiths, wouldn't it be the same if we were what? If we were the ones what? Winning and strong. The military parade is a show of strength and honor. Because they're what? They have something to flex, something to boast and to brag about. It's just that simple. So may Allah help us all in the state in which we're in as a ummah. Allahul Musta'an. Tafadhal.
Initials TA from Baltimore, Maryland. Can you list the things that make the nikah invalid with a Christian woman?
Things that make a nikah invalid? If one of the two spouses are ineligible.
With a Christian woman.
With a Christian woman.
Things that make the nikah invalid with a Christian woman, as in if she's like most girls in the West and had BFs, is it valid? Please explain the whole thing in detail.
At the end of the day, I do not advise any Muslim man to marry a Christian woman, with exceptions to some circumstances. You know that you won't be able to stay away from her. You know that your nafs doesn't have the sabr to do what, you can't wean yourself off of her. You know that, so make it halal. She's interested in becoming a Muslim. She wants to make the jump. Maybe. Other than that, you want to marry her and she's going to remain a Christian and this, no. Don't do it. I'm not saying it's haram, but I don't advise with it. Marry yourself a Muslim sister. If it's so difficult to see eye to eye with a Muslim lady, imagine. But somebody could counter that argument and they can say, she's different than the Muslim sister. She has better manners, better attitude. She's not as this, that. You got to figure it out yourself. I don't advise with it. Unless she's a woman that realizes that Islam is meant to be strong and dominant. It's a Muslim household. I live as a Christian, unmolested in this household. I have my rights, I have the freedom to my religion, but it's an Islamic household. And I'm sure there are situations that are like that. She's a Christian woman, she gets up early in the morning and makes suhoor for her husband. She prepares iftar for her what? For her husband. The sons, the daughters, the children must be Muslim. There is no 50-50. My son is not going to go to church. Period. He is a Muslim and that's it. He's not going to hold a crucifix. Abadan. He's going to study the Quran and that's it. If she agrees to that, she's respectful, then what? Be it so. As far as one day to mosque and one day to church, one day to mosque, one day to temple, one day to mosque, one day to cathedral, la. Eid, Christmas, la. Thanksgiving, Jumu'ah, la. Crucifixes all over the place, no, no, and no. And if you're a weak-willed man, whatever you want to call it, alpha male, whatever, if you're weak, if you're beta, whatever they call it, a simp, or whatever it is, all right, a sucker, whatever word is used. Sheikh Ahmed, I'm sure you guys have what? In your language and culture, what would you call a weak guy? Huh? Not just Spanish, but the culture of Mexico. What word is that? Yeah.
No, don't say that, bro. It might be a curse.
It don't have to be a curse word. A punk is not a curse word. Is there a translation for it? Or no, or it's automatically a curse word? Oh, we know the word. We've all heard it before. The what? Etc. At the end of the day, if you're not the man, you don't need to be marrying any woman unless she's a strong Muslimah. Not even a weak Muslimah. Strong Iman. If you're weak, no. So at the end of the day, that's first and foremost. Secondly, she has to be chaste. So if she has a boyfriend, then it's automatically invalid. She's a virgin. She made zina before, she made tawbah. She has nothing to do with that. You can't be marrying a woman that's promiscuous, a woman that sleeps around. It's haram, impermissible. Even if she's a Muslim, you can't do that. And obviously, the nature of the nikah, that's a longer discussion. Who can be her wali? Many scholars say that a wali is supposed to be from her deen. And that's a discussion in itself. Wallahu alam. Next question.
This is
No.
CQ from Birmingham, UK. I work as an architect. If a non-Muslim wants to extend their house and put a prayer room in the new extension where idols will be worshipped, is it halal for me to do this work?
You build the room. You don't ask him or discuss what he's going to do with the room. I'm building the walls, the carpet, that's it. The idols, how many arms, that's between you and yourself. End of discussion. Wallahu alam.
Initials QA from Seattle, Washington. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Much love from the Pacific Northwest. How can we get you out here? Jazakallah khair for everything you do for the ummah.
Barakallahu fikum. Where's the question coming from again?
Seattle, Washington.
Alhamdulillah, we just out in Seattle. What was that, last year? Summer before last, we went out to Seattle. So we're no strangers to the, SeaTac or whatever. If you want us to come and visit you, we would love to, if there's enough time. Inshallah, you can email us at our website, HadithDiscipleshop.com, and then we can put you in contact with the people to make it happen. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And what? A city, a masjid near you? I'll be right there. All right? But that's a street poet, so we can't. He didn't come out the desert, so we can't call him, according to Big Brother. Next question.
Initials TA from Baltimore, Maryland. What's the origin and definition of Iranians or a Persian? Would Kurds, Pashtuns, Urs, and Azerbaijanis fall under this?
Talk about Iran. Mahad is our specialist on Iranian affairs. The geopolitical scheme of Iran. At the end of the day, obviously the word Iran is a modern day country with modern day borders. As far as all those other ethnicities or ethnic groups, will they fall under the term Persian? Then of course there's room. And there are many things that are like this. Central Asia, Balkans, these different modern day terms. They have origins to them, yes, they do. But it wasn't as rigid. So from my limited knowledge, Persia or Persians is much more than the current country of Iran, the current borders. At the end of the day, That's a long discussion. Wallahu alam. Type, no other questions, we'll stop.
Initials AN from DC. How do we act in a time like this when our brothers and sisters are suffering across the world when it comes to the Muslim rulers not stepping up? Barakallahu feek.
To the Muslim who's what?
Not stepping up.
Not stepping up. Do what you can. That's all you can do. Do what you can. Do what you can. And if you want to do more and to step up more, that's fine. Know for sure that it comes with a consequence. So I want to physically change the state of what's happening in the Muslims. Bismillah. But know for sure that's going to come with the challenges and obstacles. And if you're sincere and honest, Allah will test you. I commend you. But know for sure it's not a bed of roses. If you can't physically or don't wish to physically, you want to verbally, that's fine. But you need to know that it's going to come with obstacles and challenges. So if you speak out against what's happening in any part of the world, Sudan, Palestine, Gaza, etc., alhamdulillah. It being wajib, this and that, know for sure you're going to make enemies. So do not complain or cower. And I'm not saying this to discourage you. Don't understand mistakenly. I'm not discouraging you like some people do. We don't believe in that, being a defeatist. I'm just reminding you is that it's going to come with Iowa. How? You're going to be tested. So don't talk about it. Just do it. I'm tired of the Muslims getting this and that. Bismillah. What can I do to change that? Can I physically stop it? I can't. Can I find it? Or do whatever you can. But do not complain when the beast comes after you and tries to sink his teeth and claws into your tender flesh. You got to take that. That's all a part of it. Wallahu a'lam. And that's very popular, I think, today. I'm not talking about nobody specific, but I think it's popular. What do you think, Ahmed? People, they speak, they're extremely vocal against this and that. Then when they get detained or locked up or kicked out, they're like, oh, I was oppressed. What do you think was going to happen to you? Me. You're on the live stream talking about what? What do you think? It's nothing but a matter of time before what? And that's exactly what it's years ago. If you go on their God-forsaken website, you see some of those clips there, what? They're way over a decade. So if you have the courage to say what you believe and feel and stand up, it's going to come with consequences. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of you being all shocked and surprised that you get boycotted or ostracized or blackballed. That's the term. We know the origin of that word. They blackballed me. Where does that come from? Anybody know? Where does it come from? So you can't complain, right? If you speak out against the beast, you can't what? You can't complain if the beast bites you. It's going to defend what it should be doing. Anybody would do that. They want to stay in power. They want to control. So do not make yourself a victim if you get detained or locked up or your visa is rejected. What do you think was going to happen? And that's a trend. And I'm not feeling that trend. Don't be all girly now after you was talking tough. Next question. What you got, Brian? The term blackballed.
Bald?
A historic voting practice. Clubs and organizations.
Where members would use small balls, white for yes,
White for yes,
and black for no.
always like that. And just white goes first, black goes second. Back in the day, Street Fighter, the white dude would always what? Punch the black dude, and the black dude would fall down. That's just how it goes. Fadl. To cast secret ballots, i.e. Masonic. Masons and the likes. Freemasons, etc. Does he, is he, or is he? So they would have a box. The white ball come out, you've been what? Voted in. The black ball comes out, you've been what? But you can't see who voted against you. You get it? You can't what? So all of a sudden in sports, I raise my fist or I take a knee at the national anthem and the next thing you know what? You're not playing this week. What do you mean? We need to just, what? Or the next thing you know, he said, what did he say? You have 30 minutes to do what? Imagine how disrespectful it is to tell the head coach, you will be escorted out the building of the team that you used to be the coach of. You were what? Blackballed. All right, no problem. I'll get hired to somewhere else. No, thank you. How did he go from being what? They were saying he was going to be the top draft pick to be a number one. What round did he get picked in? Unbelievable. He was what? He was blackballed. And it's a silent, secret consensus. Nobody draft him. Nobody start him. They're what, 2-7? Wouldn't it make sense? Nope. Because they say what? He's been what? Blackballed. Just like someone who's whiteballed. They're 2-7, they're losing every week. He's our guy, he's going to start. And that's something that the Muslim cannot be when you have devotion to a thing greater than your devotion to common sense for success. I don't like this person so much, I'm going to ignore everything just to spite him. The Muslims are no different, unfortunately. He's the best imam for the community, right? He's the best speaker. The youth, they what? They love him. Spellbound in khutbah, but he can't give the khutbah. He's going to sit on the carpet and we're going to have a guest khatib. I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks, but he's a damn good speaker. He's going to be the what today, this week? Professionalism. If it was up to me, Sheikh Ahmad would never be the khutbah. Abadan. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like his face. But he is the best what? Where's the professionalism, bro? You let your personal whims get in front of business. He's going to win us games. But he went against the script, so he now has to be. May Allah protect us all. Next question.
And this is AS from London, UK. Can I pray sitting in my car if it's wet and raining outside and time is running out?
Yes, you can. You're allowed to pray sitting in your car. If it's raining outside, if it's a lot of rain, you're going to get wet and soaked. It's lawful. Wallahu alam. The fard salah is lawful. Wallahu alam.
Norway. TS from Stoke, Norway. What are the ways in which to acquire eloquence?
This will be our last question tonight, inshallah. What are the ways to acquire eloquence? A part of eloquence is natural talent. Born that way. If I don't have the natural talent, how can I make myself more eloquent? Or I have a little bit, but I want to make myself what? I think that you need to look at why there's a need for eloquence, if any. Is there a need to be eloquent? Do you have to be eloquent? What do you do for a living? Who do you have to speak to? Who do you have to talk to? So if you feel that there's a need of being eloquent, I want to get married to the sister, and I need some what? Some balagha, some smoothness to drop, right? Right? No doubt, okay? Charisma don't have to be verbal, though, Jabril. Charisma could just be, you understand? So eloquence, why is there a need for eloquence? That's number one. The more important the thing is, the more necessary the thing is, the hungrier you'll be in going after it. And the more sacrifice you'll make to obtain it. If you don't establish that, everything else is going to be hit or miss. I have to be consistent in my weight training because I need muscles. Having muscles is very, very important. I have to have muscles, so I'm going to keep eating and doing this and going here and so on and so forth. Last but not least, how do you gain eloquence? There's several ways. You can get a speech coach, a tutor, someone like a trainer in the gym who forces you to do more reps, forces you to read more, to speak more. So you can hire someone to help you become a better speaker. If you don't have the money, if you don't have the time, then there's so many different apps, so many different things online for free. Every day, 5 minutes, I'm on this app, I learned another language. Or I got my accent better. Or my public speaking skills, what? Better. So there's much that can be learned. If no one can teach you, you can learn yourself. And a part of eloquence, in my humble opinion, is being natural. Every speech shouldn't be written. Every speech shouldn't be planned out and rehearsed 50 times. Sometimes the best speeches are the most natural speeches from the heart. And often when people have a script and they read it and they memorize it, I mean, that has its virtue. Let's talk about acting in movies. Some of the best movies and some of the best actors are things that were never on the script. This actor literally went crazy in making and playing this character, literally. He became insane. And that was one of the best what? As if you're watching real life. There were 3 lines, and he ended up speaking for 10 minutes, and they said, wait, keep the cameras rolling. It was from the what? From the heart. So everything can't be a script. Of course, it's important for you to practice, rehearse. It's important for you to make eye contact with your audience. It's important for you to have control over your actions, your hands, your limbs. You shouldn't be all over the place. Many Islamic speakers, they do this. When they talk, their hands are all over the place. A little bit of hand movement, la bas. Hand movement is a part of intelligence, la bas, but you shouldn't be all over the place. That's a problem. Also, it's like fard al-nafal. So if I go on a rant in my class or my lecture or my khutbah, the main point has to be established. And my rant was additional. There are many of us Islamic speakers, we rant and we didn't even what? Cover the fard. That's a huge problem and that's a flaw. And last but not least, eloquence should never ever be a substitution for content and substance. Your rhyming and how sweet and aromatic your voice is not to be a replacement for ilm nafi'. The meat and the potatoes. This is a steakhouse, bro. The salad is okay. The dessert afterwards is, but the main purpose is supposed to be what? Prime rib, charred flesh. That's why people are coming. So your khutbah has to have meat. It can't just be some fluffy, garnish. How you look, or he's carrying a sword. That's not a gimmick. That's an add-on, but the content is what? Is there. Don't ever forget that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should have knows best. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.